I'm Jacob Reed on Inside the Huddle here on the Muskie Sports Network, joined by head men's soccer coach Adam Ponder. Coach, appreciate you taking the time to join us and chat about your season.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate it. Always good to catch up with you guys.
Yeah, so you wrapped up your season in October. What are some of the positives that you took away from your season and the group of guys that you got?
Yeah, I mean, I think for one, it's a good group of guys that we have. I mean, obviously a pretty difficult season in terms of results, but you found out what type of guys they really are, and who they are going forward, and so it's a good group that we've kept together, and I think one of the things is we've learned that we can compete with some very good teams. When you look at the schedule and some of the teams we're winning in, or I guess closer games with, they're all very good competition. And obviously our conference is what it is, where you're going to play good teams a lot. So, it's great that we're competing more with these teams, but we still have to learn how to win those games, or a little bit more game management within them to get a result, I guess. But I think the attitude with the team is great. And, they've been going to the field even since the season finished and getting in the weight room. So, they're still motivated to make this program successful. So it's a good group of guys that we have.
Yeah, so you kind of touched on it. Obviously, OAC traditionally a really tough conference to play in, and you guys didn't make it any easier on yourself either. You scheduled a lot of really tough games in the non-conference, some top 25 opponents. So, I mean, how was it for you seeing the guys go out there, compete, and really play well against some of the best teams in the country?
Yeah, I mean, I think last year we had the thought process that we wanted to be more prepared for our conference play. And in my first season here, we really weren't ready for that in a lot of different aspects, whether it was tactically or mentally, or even leadership wise, I guess. And so we weren't prepared enough. And so we felt like we had to increase the difficulty of our schedule, and play some realistic matches against teams that would be similar to our conference opponents. And now, good or bad, we didn't get the results. I think we learned a lot from those games, and we're probably more prepared than we have been in the past for conference play. But at times, though, it can be a bit demoralizing as well. But I don't think the guys really fed on that. I think, maybe there's like one really bad result, where we met with the team afterwards, but, we're able to regroup and, felt pretty good going into the John Carroll game, to be honest with you. And, again, it's conference play, there's tough games, but again, playing a lot of top 25 teams, I think is good for the program, and sort of seeing where we're at against some of the best teams in the country.
Yeah, absolutely. And you had one of the youngest teams in the conference, if not the youngest team in the conference. And one of those players that really had a solid year was Mafuz Yakubu.
Mm-hmm.
In his sophomore year, he had 5 goals and also tallied an assist too. What did you see from him as far as a growth standpoint, and what do you expect from him here in the future?
Yeah, I think Mafuz is a great guy, a great kid. I mean, the crazy part is with 5 goals and an assist or whatever he had. He got hurt in I believe it was the Ohio Wesleyan game or Kenyon game. So he really wasn't 100% a lot of the season. So, and part of that is just him as a player. He always wants to sort of battle through injuries and stay on the field to compete and train and stuff. But, we just need to make sure we take better care of him for next season. But, he's got a great mindset for the team. He's very proud to represent the university in the soccer program. And he's also a skillful player. I mean, he's very tough to manage when he's on the ball, can create dangerous chances on his own. And obviously with the stats, show is he's pretty good around the net. I think that was probably the area we struggled in the most this season, but he was probably the most consistent performer, in the attacking third. So we just need to do a better job of getting them in good spots next season around the goal, and having some other guys either step up or find some other players that can assist him in sort of the attacking areas of the field.
Yeah. So as far as defense goes, you had a freshman in goal for most of the
Mm-hmm.
season, Zach
Mm-hmm.
Marquezano. He tallied 100 saves in 14 games played, and he really just showed flashes of the special player that he could be for your
Yeah.
program.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what you saw from him in his first year and what you see for him in the future.
Yeah, I think Zach's been a great addition to the program. I think early on in the season we were trying to figure out who was going to be sort of our number one going in, and I think he won that battle slightly. I think Clevenger did a good job battling with him in a lot of the earlier matches, but Zach, just showed a little bit higher quality overall, and so he gave us I felt the best chance to win games, and I thought performed well in the moments that he had. Obviously, he's a freshman. He made some mistakes, and I think he realized that. I think one of the biggest areas that we were impressed with him wasn't even like the stuff on the field. It became an expectation that he would do that each game, but it was really his, I guess you could say, professionalism off the field and how he prepared for the games and sort of managed them afterwards in terms of sort of reviewing and finding out what he can improve on and what he did well, and so we're certainly excited to have him going forward and feel good about our goalkeeper position. And there's certainly things he can improve on. I mean, it was year one and he played quite a few games, which is great, but he still needs to get better if we want to compete at a higher level in our conference.
Yeah, absolutely. So we talked a lot about the young guys you had, but you also did have 5 seniors on your team this year.
Yeah.
Talk to me about their leadership and just what they meant to your program as a whole.
Yeah, I think it was a good group of guys that we had. Obviously, those were guys that were here when I took over the program and, maybe had a different idea of what college soccer was earlier on in their career, but were able to buy into what we were doing. And helped establish a culture. I don't want to say they set the standard because if this is a standard, it's certainly not good enough. But I think they're helping raise the standard of our program. When they first came as freshmen, I don't know if there was any sort of expectation for them with the soccer side of it. So I think now they've set some expectations for some of the younger players. They're raising the standard of the program and have been, great support players in terms of building what we're doing. I think any one of them probably could have said they would have wished for more playing time or better opportunities. But even with that being said, and some of the decisions that the coaching staff made, they still did what was best for the team. So I commend him for that, and we're looking forward to having him continue to be part of the program and coming back for alumni events, and I know those guys will be at those things, supporting the team any way they can.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the big things on campus is obviously the new health and wellness complex that's going up over here, and it really encompasses athletics, health and wellness, and academics all in one building. Talk to me about how excited you are to use that with your program and what you can see that what things that brings to your program that you didn't have before.
Yeah, I mean, it's an exciting time to be here at the university. I think, as we mentioned some of the construction outside of our offices here, and but again, like when you see construction on campus, that's a good sign. It's the university is in a healthy place, it seems like, and not only that, but wants to be progressive with some of the facilities and upgrades they're doing on campus, which is not only great for men's soccer or the student athletes, but campus as a whole. As you mentioned, the new health and wellness complex is great for athletics, great for men's soccer, indoor turf field by all means. But, we have guys that are in some of the health sciences programs. We have guys in the nursing program, which they're going to be utilizing that academically. So, and obviously we can sell that to recruits. If you're going into one of those programs, you're going to probably have classrooms over there or classes over there. And, with our offices moving into that building, not a bad thing to have a new recruit walk in to the brand new building, first thing. And so, and it just gives us more training opportunities. Obviously, winter weather here in Ohio can be subject to some bad weather. And, so it is what it is. And, you know, if we get outside, we'll get outside. But if not, you know, having a turf field like that is going to be, you know, fantastic for our student athletes and have some training space indoors. So, you know, a great selling point for the university and for our soccer team, that's for sure.
Absolutely. So just to touch on it again, like we've said, your team is very young, a lot of young guys on the roster. As a whole, talk to me about what you're looking forward to in the future and in the upcoming season from your guys.
Yeah, I know you keep mentioning it's a young team, but the wild part is all those young kids have been playing a lot, so they don't seem young, you know. You know, and I guess, you know, when you go up, I forget what game it was this year. We were looking at, you know, listening to the starting lineup getting played over, and it was like, you know, for the other team, it was senior, like redshirt senior, you know. So and then we got to our team, it was freshman, senior, sophomore, freshman. And I was like, okay, that does make a bit of a difference, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, again, like as I mentioned earlier on, they're certainly bought into what we're doing. You know, it's a good group of guys that really are friends with each other too off the field. You know, you see the guys on campus together a lot. You know, they go up to the field or weight room or whatever it is and are doing that together a lot. And so, you know, even in the hard times, they've stuck together through it. And so we're excited because there's a lot of good players that have contributed to the team, you know, and that can lead the team going forward, but hopefully can also be good leaders when we bring, you know, other kids into the program and can sort of raise their level and sort of the expectations for the program as well. And hopefully keep, you know, creating a little bit more success each year, you know, record-wise in the conference.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Coach, that's all I've got for you. I want to thank you again for sitting down and taking the time to talk to me, talk to Muskie Nation about men's soccer. And I wish you best of luck here in the off season and for the upcoming 2022 season. So thank you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Always good to chat with you guys, and we'll be on the road recruiting. So hopefully we'll bring a few more Muskies in for the fall.
Sounds good. Thanks, Coach.
All right, take care, man.